right, so we've got our drill presses. There's also a drill press over there. And these are all the bits for the drill press. We're gonna be using the 3/32 bit, which has a yellow end to it, okay? And whenever you're done, you wanna make sure it goes back into the 3/32 bit little section. So how these work, these are basically drills that are really straight. So rather than hand drilling something where you're like kind of gonna be off, this is like perfectly straight, and you can really control like the depth and the RPM and stuff like that. So over here, if you come closer, we've got two switches. We've got a laser and we've got a light, okay? We're gonna use this key, which is magnetic and needs to return up here every time you use it, to loosen the chuck. So here's the chuck, here's the little hole, that goes in here and it bites these gears, and I hold the bit and I'm gonna just pull this towards myself. So as I twist it towards myself, this one is really tightened in here. See if I can get this with two hands. There we go. Holding the bit, and I'm gonna take the bit out. Now I'm gonna take my bit that I wanna use, and I'm holding this part still while spinning this, and that extends the chuck here. So what I'm gonna do is extend that chuck while I hold this bit and try to make sure it's centered. So as I spin it, it should look centered. Yeah, look straight up and down. And that's nice and tight. I'm gonna take that chuck key again. I'm gonna come in here to one of these holes, and I just, using my thumb, I just turn it away from me, one twist. That should be plenty. It's nice and in there. So, we've got the bit sticking out there. Looks good. I'm making sure that I'm also on, I'll just show you this real quick. I'm making sure that I'm also on like the neck of the bit and not on like the twists themselves. So like I'm holding that on the smooth part of the bit. Okay, so let's tighten again. And let's spin it, make sure it looks good. Yep, it's like nice and straight and up and down. If it wasn't, it'd be kind of like angled. So the next part of this is that we have a bed here, okay? And this bed can be lowered with this little crank and raised, and it can be locked into place with this back lock. This is the same on the floor-sized model. So if you come over here to twist this to adjust it and it doesn't adjust, this is probably locked. So we will want to lock it before we use it. So I can't really adjust it right now. And then I twist this to unlock it. Okay, and now I can easily raise up and down. So what I'm gonna do, while it's loose, I'm gonna take my block, I'm gonna find my mark, I'm putting it under here, and you'll notice the laser, because I turned that light and that laser on with those two buttons, is actually lined up to where the tip of my bit is gonna go. So I wanna put that X right over that. And what we're gonna do is we're going to make sure this is raised up relatively close to it and that it's in a good position, okay? And I'm gonna just lock this back key. Okay, make sure that doesn't move, so now it's good. This might get off a little bit, so make sure we're in the right position. And then we use clamps to clamp this down to this surface. So the clamps can be found on this wall over here. These are quick clamps that we can use. I'm just gonna grab one. And with these quick clamps, I can come in here and find different positions to clamp this down at. So you might wanna have a partner help you with this initially. But what I'm doing is the clamp releases with this button, slides back and forth, and then it tightens with this, okay? So I'm gonna come in here. This is in the right position. I'm kind of come down. And let's, actually what we could do is maybe try clamping up here. Let's kind of right in the way of our handle here. So here, let's do this. Let's rotate it this way. You can come in, no, let's do it this way. This is good though, because you're seeing that you need to kind of move it into the correct position ahead of time. Okay, that's pretty solid. Okay, so once it's in position, got your clamp on it, you can hold the piece of wood down, Make sure it's in the right spot. I can feel, yep, that's gonna hit the right mark where my laser is. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna turn this on. This is the on switch. And whenever I turn it on, there's an RPM readout right here, okay? 2100. We can actually find the RPM that we need for our drill bit back over here, and we'll print some more of these sheets. But in this case, we're using, here's like the RPM, we're using softwood, we're using a twist drill bit, and we're somewhere, what was it? It was the 3/32. So we're somewhere in this range, so 3000 is what the RPM should be. So if I come back over here, I change the RPM with this arm. Okay, so 3000, that's close to 3000, close enough for us. I have this held, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna lower this while it's spinning into my, my block of wood. Now to set the depth of that, we use this adjustment right here, okay? And this has some like measurements on it, but what we're really gonna do is we're gonna really tap this to the top. I'm not pushing super hard. And we can use our measuring tape right here, and we're gonna be adjusting this to 1 inch. So if you can see that measurement, this is like a stop. Like whenever we hit this, it'll stop. So right now, it needs to come down, I think, just a little bit. Maybe it was up, actually. It needs to come up a little bit. Let me raise this. Let's see if that's enough. That's perfect. So I'm 1 inch from the bottom of this to this. I'm gonna turn this on. And I'm just going down a little bit at a time. So I don't wanna just like push it all the way through. I need to pull it up every now and then to let some of the sawdust escape. And now I've tapped that. I tapped the end of that. Like I can't push any further. I can pull it out and turn it off. Release my clamp.